4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off and the clock has started.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to you wherever you may be listening and watching across and around the globe, from Tachikawa to Edinburgh to Easley, South Carolina. Welcome to the All Around Show, the metaphysical variety podcast where we just get into stuff. I'm your host, Scott Schroeder, and I am grateful for a little bit of your valuable time. As you all know, bookkeeping stuff, a show's success depends on you. Please take a hot second to do all the likey, subscribey, and reviewy things. All right, let's get into it, shall we? There is a fundamental glory and intrinsic joy in the awakening of springtime. Through its leafy lesson, it teaches us that rebirth and reawakening are not only possible, but foundational for all living things. The first edition, the maiden voyage, if you will, of Monologue Monday is slightly superfluous and personal to me, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. It is, well, it's Eclipse Day. Happy Eclipse Day, but it is April 8th, 2024, and this week will contain the second weekend of April. In other words, it's Masters Week. For standard American boys such as myself, growing up in the South, this has always been my favorite week of the year for a number of cultural reasons. Baseball season has begun. Spring football is underway at university campuses across the land. And of course, the annual renewal of the greatest golf tournament in the world. Now let's talk about golf for a minute, shall we? The game that so many of you mock and scorn, sometimes for good reason, but mostly not. Contrary to meme culture, the game of golf is not some demonstration of elitist snobbery in which wealthy white men in questionable clothing chase a ball around for a few hours. And if you've been conditioned to think that, then clearly you've never, ever, not once, even thought about stopping by your local municipal links to witness the absolute melting pot of humanity from every segment of the social spectrum, spending a few hours together outside on a Saturday morning. To say the game of golf is holistically elitist because of the private exclusive club factor is to say that the games of baseball and soccer are elitist because a tiny sliver of the global population signs $100 million contracts and takes charter jets and limos to their games. To deride the game is to assign judgment to something you don't genuinely understand. As for me, no, I'm not wealthy, never have been. I dress myself appropriately in public, and like 99% of everyone who's ever swung a stick, I've never been a member of a private club, but I love this game of tenebrous origin, born in 100 places, refined and organized by the Scots, and given to the people of the world to enjoy and be vexed by for something like 700 years now. For me and countless others, the game has always been a chance to quiet the noise of a relentless world, to be outdoors, to get together with friends and family, to challenge myself time after time, to step into the elements and play the game that cannot be beaten. If properly engaged, this game, this fantastic game, will teach you strategy, patience, balance, humility, grace, and humor. And maybe you look around and see a culture that could use a hell of a lot more of those qualities. Golf has also provided an extraordinarily gratifying and fulfilling workplace for me since my teen years. In that time, I've met a number of folks who helped shape my life for the better. Now, from the maintenance shed to the pro shop to food and bev to the range and cart barn, I've done it all in this business. But none of those years were as broadly rewarding as my 20 years in the caddy shack. I've worked every track from those elitist private clubs that so many of you hate without knowledge to the legendary venues like Harbor Town and the Ocean Course and on and on. More importantly, this job enabled me to spend hours outdoors with some really amazing people from every single walk of life. Some became friends, some became mentors, but all of them, all became part of the story of me. More importantly, the game will always represent my greatest link to my father and my brothers. Now, among our many interests and along our diverging paths, wherever we went, whatever we did, it's the one joy we all shared as a common bond. No matter the place and time, the game of golf has always been a uniting force for the four of us. And even when our dad could no longer swing a club because of the toll of time, he'd always derive great joy from riding along and watching his boys play the game he taught us. That's an indelible bond and a gift from the greatest game. And in my family, nothing represents that bond quite like the Masters. Our dad's favorite player was the legendary Jack Nicklaus, and my dad took a photo of me and Jack when I was a wee lad, and he's been my golf hero ever since as well. And that photo is still with me nearly 50 years later and is a constant reminder of great things. And as for this special week on the sports calendar, what player says Masters more than the guy with 6 green jackets? Although there's another dude with 5 of them whose name is now forever linked with the hills and pines and azaleas of Augusta National. That brings me to another very personal aspect of this week's meaning to me. Jack, previously mentioned Jack Nicklaus, won his 18th major and 6th green jacket on my 17th birthday, April 13th, 1986. Now, you might have guessed, and you would be correct, that the 4 Schroeder boys were all in the room on that special day, although Justin was 3 and Matt was 3 months. Masters Week has always been birthday week, and every now and then, my birthday is Masters Sunday, like on April 13th, 1997, when Tiger kicked in the door and won his first major and Masters by 12 strokes. From the Golden Bear to Tiger, one generation to the next. And so it should still be. There was a time when sports was something more meaningful to kids and families than building a scalable personal brand, social media validation, and the manic dash to catch all the dropping bags. It could be that way again if we take back the lives of our children from the monolithic corporate media and social agenda psychopaths. Let the kids be. Let them play, maybe even a game of golf. There's so much to learn about life from the game, like life itself, the game, and the people who play it every day on thousands of courses around the world aren't anything like the parody you're supposed to believe. Put down your phone and go talk to someone real. All right, that's it for this time on the All Around Show. I hope you got something useful out of it. Now, I welcome civil discourse, so if you have something meaningful to add, leave it in the comments section. Thanks, everybody, for your time, and as always, be mindful, be fit, and be authentic. Whatever better than yesterday is for you, work on being that. Peace out, homies, and see you next time.